Hello everyone. So in the last session we have seen waterfall model and incremental model. In today's session I am going to explain you about rapid application development model. As the name itself indicates, the process is rapid over here. So now let us see how does the process is carried out. Okay. So this model was invented in 1980 and it makes maximum use of latest tools and technologies. Here in this approach, entire requirement set is divided into various modules. So all the requirements are collected and then all the requirements are divided into various modules and each module is being assigned to a separate team. Alright, so each module is being assigned for a separate team. It means all the modules development is started simultaneously. They don't need to wait for the completion of first module and then the second module and then the another one. Here, the development process of all the modules is carried out simultaneously, or you can say parallelly, by the different teams. Suppose this is our software product and these are the various modules of our software product. So all these modules like module 1, 2 and N, these modules are assigned to different teams. Okay, and each of the module undergoes all the activities of waterfall model. So each module has to undergo analyzing, designing, coding and testing. It means the team, suppose the module, this module 1 is assigned to team 1, that team will follow a waterfall approach for this module separately. Similarly, all the modules have to undergo the waterfall model process. It means all the phases are implemented on each of the module. Fine. And when each module is ready, suppose this is a login module, when it undergoes all the phases and finally it is tested and it is ready to be implemented, then all these modules, okay, all the modules are combined together, right? All the modules are taken and combined together and then again the final product is developed. Okay, so after combining all these three modules, then we get the final product. Okay, so in this way the working of a RAD application is carried out. So another important feature is that as the entire software is divided into modules and is being assigned to different teams, each of the modules are developed parallelly. Hence, the time required for the development of the software here is less compared to other models, right? Okay, so this is the detailing. Now, let me elaborate to you about the diagram. So, in this diagram, you can clearly see that. Okay, so first thing what we do as a developer, it is elicit requirements. So what happens in elicit requirements? In elicit requirements, we collect the information. Okay, so from where do you collect this information? We collect the information from various customers and stakeholders and maybe sometime the users. Okay, so after collecting the requirements, so we collect the requirement from customers, stakeholders and users. So customers are nothing but the people, those one who are going to operate on your system or one who are going to purchase your software or the service. Who are stakeholders? Stakeholders are nothing but they may be an individual or a group, okay, who are involved in business with your organization, right? And users are ultimately all the people, those who are going to use, okay, the software. So we collect information from all these people here, right? We collect information from all these people here and we also make some discovery of information and then we make some feasibility study on information, we define the information and then after that once when the information is finalized, okay, we, as I told you that we develop a document, that is requirement specification document. In that we mention all the requirement that is needed during the development of a software. So after collecting that requirement, we go for next phase, that is modularize the requirement. So what happens in modularization of requirements, right? So in modularization of requirement, your entire requirements, whatever requirements are there, so those requirements, right, so those requirements are divided into various modules, right? So you can see here, suppose that information set is divided into 3 modules, or let us take it as 1 to n number of modules. So module 1, 2 and n. So module 1 is assigned to team 1, module 2 is assigned to team 2, right? And module n is assigned to team n, right? So each individual team will start working on the modules, right? And all these modules will undergo analysis, designing, coding and testing. So you already know about analyze. Analyze is nothing but, suppose this is a login module, this is a cash withdrawal module, right? And this is what, a mini statement module. So what all information is needed during login, right? What all information is needed or activities are carried out during login. So we first analyze in the sense we collect all that information, we sort and define it, and then we go for designing of login. Then we write the coding, right? So coding of module 1, suppose that is example login module, and then we do some test. So this testing is done manually or sometimes by using automated or semi-automated tools. All right? Yes. Then we go for then team 2 will go for another module. So in this way, all these modules are given to different teams. Okay. So n number of modules are assigned to n individual teams. So each team will take care of a module. So hope you are getting it, right? So here modularization approach is followed and each of the module is developed parallelly. Login module as well as other modules of ATM that I have told you. All the modules are developed simultaneously, alright? So then they undergo all this phase, okay? And after undergoing all these phases, right? So you can see that here, after modularization, this task is carried out, that is assigning the work to the team, right? And then analyzing, designing and coding section, and then we go for integrate all the modules. So what exactly happens in integrate all the modules? So when these modules will undergo all these phases and we find that there is no more change needed in that module, so finally we integrate all the modules. So all these modules are integrated here, right? When these are ready to be deployed, and after integrating all the modules, again what we do is we again go for entire or we can say that we go for entire system testing. So here we test entire software, right? All the units. Okay, what happens is that all the units here are merged, right? We merge all the units, and then after merging all the units, okay, we again do a system testing on that, right? So first let me revise it once again. First we take the information from various customers, stakeholders, we make lot of discovery of information, we sort and we redefine it, we modularize the requirement. Okay, so we're nothing but we modularize the process of software development of our software product into terms of various modules. Each module is assigned to different team. It means all the modules are developed parallelly, and after that each of the module will undergo all these phases, and after that we integrate the modules, and then finally we go for system testing after integrating all the modules. All right, so this is the diagram for rapid application development model, right? So let me tell you quickly about the phases. So here you can see the phases. There are 4 phases, right? that is requirement planning. Okay, second is user description. We'll go one by one. So in first phase, what happens is that it involves the use of various techniques that are used in requirement elicitation, right? So first initial stage is what? What is the initial stage of our RAD? This is the initial stage, that is elicit requirements. So what it exactly does in elicit requirements? Okay, they follow lot of approaches. So what are that approaches? Okay, so here requirement elicitation. Okay, what exactly it means? Once when you click here, you can get a link and you can just browse more about what is elicitation. So elicitation, it is all about collection of requirements or discovery of requirements, right? Discovery of requirements from various resources like customers, stakeholders, or gathering lot of amount of information, right, during the development. So like brainstorming. So brainstorming is one of the technique for collection of requirements. Okay. So here brainstorming exactly refers to collection of information from various group of people by organizing some sessions, okay, or making lot of group discussions with the customers, collecting lot of feedback from the customers or maybe the stakeholders or maybe the users of the system. So they collect the requirement in first phase by applying some techniques like brainstorming. Task analysis. What is task analysis? It is nothing but one approach to get idea how exactly the activities of our software should be carried out, right? They also do one technique or apply one technique called as form analysis. Okay, so what is form analysis? This is the study made. Okay, this is the study made regarding the process of filling the form. So what exactly is the problem or how the customer is filling your website forms, or what are the requirements during filling the forms? What are the expectations of the customers during filling the forms in your web pages or in your software products? So that all comes under form analysis. Okay. Then user scenarios. Okay. So these are one of the helpful way for designers. Okay, to approach users in a structured way, right? So because with the help of this analysis, what happens is that the developer will get a correct design, okay, for the user requirements, and we can say that in a more structured way we can get what exactly the user wants from our interfaces. So we do all these techniques in requirement planning. We not only collect the requirement, but we follow some techniques during collection of requirements like brainstorming, task analysis, form analysis, user scenario, and most applicable technique, that is a facilitated application development technique. Okay, so this is also called as FAST. So what happens in this FAST technique? Okay, so once when you click here, you can get the more details, right? So here I will exactly tell you what happens in this technique, right? So in this technique, here a collaboration is formed. Okay, so what happens in fast technique? A team, okay, is formed where the customer, okay, where the customer and developers, okay, a team is formed of customer and developer. So it means both of them work jointly here, right? So you can see that a joint working is carried out. So here a joint team of customer and developer is carried out in fast. Okay, so our developer works with the customer, or a team is formed where customer is involved in development with the developer. So what exactly they are going to do? So here the developer will interact with the customer during the development and will try to find out what are the problems. And then both of them will propose the solution for that problem. And after proposing the solution to the problem, the negotiation regarding the problems and alternative solutions to the problems are obtained, and then a permanent solution is obtained under the guidance of the customers or the stakeholders or sometimes the user. So this is called as a fast technique. So in this technique, what happens? A collaborative team is formed. Okay, a collaborative team is formed of customer and developer, right? Okay, so because of this, what happens? We get a structured plan, right? We get a structured plan because we have lot of user requirements and we have clarified all the doubts of our customers or users, and then only we form a structure plan, right? And then finally what we do, we form a refined model. It means that first phase is completed only after making all this research, only after collecting the requirements from all different kinds of customers, stakeholders and users, collecting all the different types of feedbacks from them during the requirements, forming so many sessions like brainstorming, task analysis, form analysis and fast technique, and then refining the information again and again. Alright? Okay, so this is nothing but what? Requirement planning phase. Okay, yeah. So now let me go to the second phase. So our second phase, right? So what is our second phase here? Our second phase is user description, right? Okay. So what happens in user description? It consists of taking user feedback. Okay. So here it again takes the feedback from the user and then it develops a prototype. Okay. So whatever information is being collected and whatever modules are designed for the first movement, okay, so these are given to the customers, and then sometimes the data itself is analyzed before designing the module. Sometimes the data, whatever data we had been collected, that is refined by taking feedback from the customers, right? And after their feedback, what we get is we get more explained information, right? Or more clear information, right? Yeah, that is the dataset attributes are also identified and elucidated in this phase. Okay, after a lot of amount of validation of the data collected. So what exactly this phase tells us? It tells us that all the information collected from this, okay, we develop a prototype and then that prototype is being given to the customer and we receive feedback from the customer, and we also check out the validation process of our forms and everything, and then we obtain a clear set of information, right? So that is all in the second phase. Fine. Now, the third phase is all about what? Construction. So in construction, exactly what we do? We are here. Exactly, we are here. Okay. So in construction, we are exactly at this level. Okay. So here, this phase is all about construction phase. So what happens in construction? We exactly start, okay, refinement of the prototype. Okay, so in this phase, refinement of prototype and delivery takes place. So what it means? Once when the module is designed by a team, we give that module to the customer or user or the stakeholder, and then they start making use of that prototype, and then they give us the strong feedback regarding their impressions about the modules. Then what we do is we again refine it. So in construction, by taking that valuable feedback from the customers, we redefine, okay, or we refine the prototype, right? That is carried out again with the help of some tools, right? And then what we do is using these tools we transfer all the processes and data models into final working product. Okay, so here what exactly they mean? So see, so in the first page, right? So ours is first page, right? So in this first page, okay, so this is our first phase, that is elicit requirements, that is requirements planning, and then user description, right? So in this what we do, exactly we are here, so we are in this phase, okay? So after going to this phase, right, so that is user description phase, the third phase is all about what? Construction. So what happens in construction? All these modules, okay, all these modules are ready and they are ready to be tested and they are ready to be integrated and they are ready to be implemented. So tested, it means we are integrating all these modules and we are trying to perform system testing on this, right? And then the system, our final product is ready. So that is nothing but the construction. Okay, so in construction phase what we do, we integrate all the modules, right, and it is ready to be deployed. Okay, so this is what happens exactly during the construction phase. Okay, yeah, see ya. So in this phase, refinement of prototype and delivery takes place. All the required modifications or enhancements are to done in this phase. Fine. So in cutover, this is the last phase. Okay. All the interfaces between the independent modules developed by separate teams have to be tested properly. The use of powerfully automated tools and subparts makes testing easier. This is followed by acceptance testing by the user. So this is the last step where all the modules, okay, are integrated together, and acceptance testing, this is one type of testing. So acceptance testing is carried out just to check whether the system, after integrating all the modules, will satisfy all the customer needs and whether it is a quality software product, right? So guys, these are the phases. Okay, so these are the 4 basic phases of your RAD model. So while explanation, you can go for these points, go for the diagram, and then just follow the phases. Okay, so if it is asked for 10 marks, you need to go for a few points like advantages and disadvantages also, right? So let me quickly tell you about advantages. Fine. Okay, right. So what is the first advantage? See, use of reusable components helps to reduce the cycle time of the project. Yeah. So what it means, once if one module, suppose if you are designing one module like login module, so that module you can also use for the next software product if the working is similar, only with few changes. So that is one advantage of RAD model, because we are developing module by module. So what it tells us, sometimes these modules can be reusable. So reusable components are nothing but modules. Okay. So feedback from the customer is available at initial stage. Yes, exactly what it means. See, we are designing one module, we are giving it to the customer. Customer will use it and it will customer will provide us some information, and then again we refine the model. So we do this on each module until we get a perfect module, okay, which has no flaws or failures, right? Reduced cost as fewer developers are required. Do you think so? Few developers are required? Yeah, see, as one module is assigned to one team. Okay, so team will take care of it. So sometimes it may reduce the cost, right? So use of powerful development tools results in better quality product in comparatively shorter time span. So this is one of the major importance of RAD, right? So here they make use of lot of tools, automated tools, okay, to combine all the modules, right? So there are some tools in software engineering which are used, like you must be knowing about CAD CAM tools, right? So we have some tools in developing the software products also. Sometimes if I get time, I will also explain you about what are the different types of tools that are used in software development, right, as it is not a part of syllabus now. Okay, yeah, so by making use of these development tools, we get a better quality product and in a shorter time span. The progress and development of the project can be measured through various stages, right? So what it means, I also told you that in order to measure the performance of your software product, some metrics are carried out, like PERT chart is used, Gantt chart is used. We use some techniques to judge or to find out the statistics of your progress during the software development. So here what happens is that each module wise performance you are analyzing. Okay. Then it is easier to accommodate changing requirements due to short iteration time spans. So what they mean here, we can easily acquire with the changing requirements. Why? Because it's a modular approach. We can make the changes in any of the module at any of the time, and that too within a shorter span of time. Followed? Okay, so that is all about advantages, right? So now let me go to the disadvantages. Okay, so in disadvantages, again, so even though it has a lot of advantages, there might be some disadvantages. So let me tell you about that. See, the use of powerful and efficient tools require highly skilled professionals. Yeah, They have all original tools, or you can say that the tools are purchased by the developers, and we need a skilled trainer to handle these tools, because it may consume a lot of time if we give this job to a newly appointed trainer, isn't it? So it needs a skilled and highly experienced, or you can say highly skilled professional to use all these tools. Okay, then the absence of reusable component can lead to the failure of the project. Are you getting that? So it is a modular approach. Then hence, if any one module goes wrong, or you can say that there is a problem in one component, the entire project may fail, because it is a reusable approach, or you can say that modular approach. The team leader must work closely with the developers and customers to close the project in time. Yes. So lead is a person, one who is handling the team. It is a dream job of all the IT people to become a team leader. Even I had a job, like I had a dream of becoming a team lead, right? So it's an interesting job. Okay. So the team leader must work closely. Okay, he must work closely with both the developers and customers, so that he should exactly know what is the project and the sync between your customers and developers, right? Okay, so that's why the lead is very important here. The system which cannot be modularized suitably, okay, cannot use this module. See what it is telling. So if you fail to modularize the system, if you fail to find out what are the modules in your project, then this technique may fail. Okay, customer involvement is required here. As I told you, they use the fast technique. In that fast technique, what happens, our developer is working with the customer and led by the team leader. So all these three people are working together. So we need a customer interaction every time. We take a decision or we take a suggestion every time from the customer before going to the next prototype phase. Okay. So it is not meant for small scale projects as for such cases. See, as they are going to use lot of tools and techniques, automated tools most probably. So the cost of the project is, they don't invest these costs on small projects, right? So it requires sometimes live projects and sometimes the projects which have got high budget. Fine? Yeah. So this is all about advantages and disadvantages. Okay. So quickly we'll go for applications, right? And then we could go for another thing, right? Okay. So what are the applications? See, the applications are nothing but it should be used for a system where requirements, okay, where the requirements are clear and shorter develop time. Okay, so it is suitable for projects only for modularization and reusable components availability. Then this model can also be used when already existing system components can be used in developing a new system with minimum changes. It means it's a totally reusable approach. So what is reusable approach here? You can reuse the existing modules, right? So modules development is very important here, right? So a well-knowledge team is needed, powerful skills are needed, automated tools are needed, right? And it should be chosen when the budget permits the use of tools and technique. It means overall, what does it tells us? This is overall applicable for large projects which have large budgets, which have skilled trainers, and where the modular approach is clear, right? So this is all about RAD. So hope you followed it. So please go through the diagrams, explanation, phases, advantages, disadvantages and applications, right? And I'll see you in the next session. Bye bye.